contacted this guy and he was like asleep, and I literally thought in my mind like I could literally stay here forever, and that was probably like the best moment.
Yo. So, where were we? Right, I did write some stuff down. Let's reread that stuff. Right, I got stuck at the release phase where if I reread the documentation, and if I can find it. Oh, here's the release phase bit. So there's actually two things to release. So releasing an image, it'll say, using the CLI or the API. And then there's a thing that they mentioned saying using a CI/CD platform, which we've done because we're using Travis CI. And then they mentioned the release phase again by pushing a Docker image named release. So your release phase process types needs to be specified. So maybe instead of doing this, maybe we can also push a Docker image, because that's really what they're doing here. And then also mark it as a /web to define the process type. That's something that we haven't tried yet. And if we could do that, then maybe we can trigger, we can eventually trigger our Heroku app to being released instead of just being pushed to the Heroku container service. So that's one idea that I've been playing around with, or something that I noticed. And then there's another thing where we could use a Heroku YAML file, but this thing will actually first build another Docker image again based on your Docker file. And I can't do that unless I also upload my successfully built jar file to GitHub, and I don't want to do that. There's the other option where I could work around with this thing by first pushing a successfully built image to Docker Hub, and then have my Heroku Docker file point to the one on Docker Hub, and then use that one to build the image basically. I could do that as well, but what are we doing then? I mean, I wanted this to be simple. And what other stuff is there? I'm gonna also start adding markers when I think there's noise in the background to check if there's actual noise on stream as well, because if there is, then I might need to do something about that if I can. Right. Then there was the last thing that our thing was failing against was this database URL that was being passed along, but this is the way that this thing looks like is not like a regular Postgres JDBC URL, sadly enough. So there is a special notation or whatever. Maybe it's this one. I think it was this one. Hang on, huh? Oh yeah, so this is the regular database URL. And it lists just Postgres colon blah blah blah. At some AWS instance. And then they say, once the database add-on has been created, Heroku will automatically populate the environment variables, which it doesn't. So that's not cool. Because if they were, then we would have been able to use them. Well, at least I don't think that's a thing. Let's see. Spring data source URL, and I think the one we have in our application, Spring data source URL, see, which isn't actually working. And the thing that was working was by using this. This did work. But then that was the wrong URL. So the thing that they showed in another article was the following. Let me see if I can find that somewhere. Yeah, right here. So here they create or they populate a URI bean of type URI. They name it DB URL, and then they add the database URL to that, so that they can then extract stuff from the DB URL using this syntax here. And I was wondering if I could also do that in Spring YAML. I'm not sure if I can. Extract, or wait, no, Spring Boot YAML extract variable or something. Yeah, as far as I know, I don't think there's YAML is typed, or I can use things like the URI example. Hmm. Sure, I could try to do this instead. But then I'd rather look up which properties are actually being passed along. So this is not something I want to read anymore. Maybe it only does this when it knows that it's that we're going to be running a Spring Boot application using Java and not via a Docker file, maybe. Yeah, see, getting started with Java. This guide covers many steps that are not specific to Spring Boot, but so I think that's how Heroku will decide whether or not to populate these environment variables. Oi. Jesus. Okay. Werner, show me the way. Okay, he uses sweet. He's got 2 options to do this. This should be a mistake, right? Password equals port. Okay, anyway, I think we can try and reuse this. I do say try because I have no idea if this will work. So this thing we could use to how does that work actually? To like we would put this in our Docker image, I think. Docker file, I mean. And then maybe just put that in here. So database URL should be supplied already. So we'll remove this, or like do it like that. And then I am going to add this gist in there. Just so that we can both credit the guy and then also if it works. And then since we will have exported these things, they exist, or they will exist in the environment when Java or Spring Boot is run. And because it'll be run, it will overwrite these things, hopefully. And then I can actually get rid of this as well, I think. Okay, let's try that actually. So that means going back here, building again. And then pushing the new Docker container to Heroku. And then after that, we release and then check the logs again. Yikes. All right, so that's the build. I think I needed to cd into ops web app and then do the Heroku magic, which is building that image and then pushing it to Heroku's registry. And then after that, pushing. All right, now we release it. And then we'll follow the tail thing. Nope, it didn't overwrite the property. That's interesting. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter if I committed that or not. Yeah, so I think I'll need to do this to take care of the port that's been passed along by, so this is by Heroku, but so that's for later. It just came into my mind. I wonder why this isn't working though. So I have the Docker file now. And what I could do as well is say docker run. Whoops. With something like was there an example? Ah, here it is. Okay, I probably will need to build again. No, based, no. This thing. So I guess it tried to extract, but so that would mean that the database URL isn't being passed along as an environment property to the Docker container by Heroku, but might be set instead via a run command. How the hell does that work? Very confusing. Allee. Database URL. Maybe it needs to be in caps or something. Ah, yeah, okay. So that's important. So then it should work actually, right? Actually parsed database URL. Works like that, right? Docker build again. Docker run again. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yikes. Yeah, let's just try Docker building again, I think. But then with the other one, Docker build, no. Where did I put those statements that I used before? That can be a little bit better as well for you people. Oh, right. Then this thing builds from the directory. So I can do this. Container release. And then tail. There we go, parse database URL. And then somehow it still doesn't pick it up. Why is that? Oh, is that because I'm still passing the Spring profile? That might be it. Let me look that up in the Heroku config. Nope. Yeah, the other thing I could be doing is by simply adding config variables that Spring Boot knows how to interpret. So where did I add that? Where did I add that it should run with the application YAML? Maybe I just need to build again. Can do that, right? And then create a new image on Heroku. All right, that's that. Then we go back into the web app directory, and then do a Heroku container push web of the Docker file. Okay, nice. All right. Then we release. And we tail. The following profiles are active. Heroku prod. Damn, where did I put that thing? Heroku prod. Oh. But if I put it there or not, it shouldn't matter. This also doesn't really look like the proper database URL. Maybe that's why. Okay, I'll need double slashes there. It should be like this, actually. Yeah, that's more like it. Okay, and I put that in the... It's in the exact Java thing, so I can just rebuild my container. Then release it again. Check the logs. Oh, there we go. So I guess it reverted back to localhost because it memory quota exceeded. So now the problem is that it spawned on 8080 and I don't think that port is being forwarded by Heroku. So even though our app is running, I don't think it will be accessible. Let's see if I am correct. Open app. Yeah, see? Failed to bind to port. So now we'll add this thing, I guess. Spring. Wait, no, it's server port equals $port, and then that just forwards the port thing to a Spring Boot configurable property. So let's probably last time then rebuild Docker container. Then we'll release again. And then we check log files. Да, хорошо. All right. There we go. And it's online. Jesus. All right. Small victory. So the app is online, running on Heroku. Now I think what we can do is try out if we can also deploy by pushing a specifically named Docker container to the Heroku registry. Oh, how the hell am I gonna do that? I'll need to do a Docker login then. And okay, let me try that actually in a separate window. Oh, whoops. I'll need the thing in waar is dat ook alweer? In the Travis YAML file. Yeah, this thing basically. Okay, still trying to log in. Unauthorized. That is interesting. Oh yeah, it's not the password, it's the API token. Derp. Let's check that out again. Okay, I'm logged in, finally. Going to... Well, actually, Docker... I'm going to do these commands here. And then tag them. All right, that's the tag. Then we'll deploy it by, well, yeah, deploying, I guess, which is a push. And then I think what I need to do is /release/web, and then same here. And I think that might actually release it, but I'm unsure. And the way that I can check is if there's a restart that'll happen here. I really wonder. Okay, so the tag has been pushed. Yeah, but nothing happens. Then it might be vice versa, so we're really doing trial and error here. Now I'm tagging with /web/release and pushing with /web/release. Still no dice. Let's just try only release then, I guess. That also doesn't do anything at all. Man. So the likelihood of me deploying unsuccessful commit to a production branch is very slim now. Unless I can also use Heroku commands on Travis. Which we haven't tried out yet. So maybe we can try that out first, because if that's the case, then I can really just copy the commands I've been doing in my terminal here. And then that should be fixed, right? So let's try that. Wait, first, let's make a little commit. We make a little small commit. Хорошо. Why is the package lock changed? Oh right, I need to clean that thing up again. Because this I don't want to do. Maybe this is a better view. Okay, here I removed an enter apparently. Here we did that export parsing, also forwarding the port properly. This we can, I guess, remove. Although it doesn't list the password or anything. And then this is the package lock JSON that seems to have been modified for some reason or the other. So let's just commit these with this config. It seems to work when using local Heroku CLI. Package lock changed for some reason. Morgen. Oh boy. Well, let's push all that. And then I guess check out prod, merge master, push, and check out master again. What else? Right, so the next thing that I can try now is to try running Heroku stuff in here, and then if that still doesn't work, I'll need to execute or perform the release command using the Heroku what's the thing called, the API. So that'll be curl commands, executing curl commands. Boy. Yeah, maybe that's my best option actually, because then I'll stay independent of the Heroku CLI, but then when the API changes, well, like it's versioned, so that should be fine as well actually. Maybe we should do that, just do that actually, and then it'll be finished actually. Just try do that. Right. Let's try do that. Where is there's a release thing, here we go. So we actually already had it going, and then the only thing I needed to do was put this web Docker image thing in there, and I needed to export that, which damn it, there was a moment I think when I created this file actually, so let's do show history. No. Didn't I? I think I... Yeah, okay. I started writing it. But I think at some point I did put this somewhere, right? Didn't I? Shit, and that was yesterday. Show history. Show other files. Show all affected files. Nope, that's not it. Ah, here we go. Okay. So then the only thing I need for this thing to work was basic authentication headers. We can actually just try this from our command line, and then it should fail because, well, yeah, it should fail because I don't have provided data is invalid JSON. Is that so? What is the invalid thing? The trailing comma? Or this dollar thing? Can I actually use that? How is it not replying with authentication? What if I What if I echo this thing? Okay. What if I just put this thing in here? Hang on. Okay, maybe this will just work then, I guess. So let's try yeah, let's just try this actually. How come I can't use... How come I can't use this in a curl command though? More Google. Use environment variable in curl command. Single quotes inhibit variable substitution, so use double quotes. The inner double quotes must then be escaped. Okay. Ooh, I like this. Damn, this is smart. Okay, maybe we can try using this then. So it's minus D with this crap, and then everything in between the quotes. And I guess we'll need to put the header stuff in front. So it could look like this. Let's see if this works. Oh, I forgot this. Yeah, okay, nice. So re-releasing is not a thing, I guess, in how do you say a container stop or something? I don't know. No. let's do the full process here. So I think this is gonna work eventually, right? All right, I'll need to execute Heroku release.sh then. And then I think, yeah, this is the same image. So right, I can't do this because I'm not logged into Heroku registry. You know what? We're just gonna try and do this on all right. I wonder if the release process will make it stop as well. But this is a cool way of doing things. Otherwise, I had to escape all of those things. This is definitely the best answer. I wish I could vote this thing. God damn it. For that one time I use Stack Overflow. I also need to help this person because this is still incorrect. Or is it? Oh, he fixed it already? Wait. No. Revisions. Oh yeah, you did put it in the wrong place. Ah, hang on. Okay, so this is incorrect, but here he did make it so the bottom part works. And I don't know if this is a more robust way. I mean, maybe we should use this instead. Here he also uses the correct variable. What does it look like? There you go. Maybe he'll fix it or not. In the meanwhile, I don't think the Travis build has succeeded yet. But we might as well take a look, right? Ooh. It did pass though. Oh, syntax error. Oh, I forgot the colon again. I swear. And then we'll check out prod again, merge with master again, push the prod again, check out master again, push master. And then we go back to the top. And wait for this build to complete. And then that should fix that. All right. Okay, I'll be right back. Hopefully by the time I'm back, it's working. And I'm back. But the build hasn't finished yet. Ooh, or has it? It has. Thing I was wondering about is why I thought it the curl command wouldn't work. I believe yesterday we tried some curl commands to try and do stuff on Heroku, but we got the what was it again? Like the feedback with Ale. Like that I wasn't logged in or something. I seem to remember that that was a thing, but so maybe we tried a different example and that's why it didn't work. Anyway, I'm happy it works now. So this is what we had. Why does it work locally but it doesn't work? There were no credentials in your authorization header. Maybe I should try executing that command from a new terminal. And then check if that works. Nope, that just works. I don't understand. Am I logged in Heroku? Heroku. Okay. That might have something to do with it. Oof. It's something something nasty then. Alright, so let's try this then, I guess. Let's do... girl authorization header thing. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, let's go back to this bit here where they say how to curl. Maybe there's more info on the API. Heroku API. CLI authentication. Well, then no. This is not it either. Heroku API. Why is it showing CLI when I am looking up API? Token storage. So this is the magical stuff that happens. Maybe I can find more info on the API by clicking through on something. I don't know. Deploying. Yeah, so this links to this stuff. Oh well, I guess I'll use this option. What was it again? -- user and then name and then password. So that's gonna be Heroku username, Heroku password, and both of these I have to set up in Travis. So let me do that real quick. Travis. Or maybe it's the auth token that I need to use instead, and I've already set that up. All right, let's try with this. Oh boy. And otherwise I'll need to add the auth token. Oh boy. I can't wait for this to work. I can't wait for this to work. So I don't think we'll need to use that actually. Ugh, I'm glad. Actually, in retrospect, it should be a better solution because now our Docker file is coupled to how Heroku works because of this specific bullshit. Where is it? This grep. Like we could put something in here that says don't do anything if there's no $database URL variable. Excuse? Did I not do that? Heroku release. -H command not found. Oh, come on. Crikey. So that was a good guess that I should be using the auth token and the username as basic authentication instead of the password. the moment of truth. Well, well. Deployed. Let's check the log stream. It should be restarting as we squeak. All right. So then going to effort challenge.herokuapp.com. Yay! All right. Oh my god. We got it working. I'm so glad. So now when I deploy to production, I mean push to my GitHub prod branch, there's an automatic deploy that happens. Holy crap. That was not that easy. Okay, let's write entire blog posts about this. Let's update the captain's log. It's been a while apparently. Because today is the, oh, maybe also the 15th even? Jesus. Yeah, dang. Dang, son. Finally was able to use Travis CI to deploy our to deploy. Yay! Ta-da. Stuff that I had to do. Well, how do you say that? Stuff that I ran into or something? I should basically just mention the things that that need to be done in order for stuff to work. You know what? And the other thing that's worth mentioning probably is how to check the logs locally. Well, all of this should probably also go in like a contributing markdown file. Locally. Locally what? This is the one. that changed since last time I deployed on Heroku. Yeah, then the complete statement, I forget already. So that was, okay, this is the one.
Well, I came upon a spot that was simply the most beautiful spot I'd ever seen in my life. And I said at that time, if I ever had the power, I would build a house there. I always wanted a house in the mountains. When I was a kid, I wanted a house in the mountains. And I said, if I ever get the chance, I'll build a house in the mountains. And then it came and I did. And I built it on a spot that to me was, as I said, the most beautiful spot I'd ever seen.
Well, I can link to that file. All right, what's next? I guess executing the release phase on Travis. Then problem the first. And then problem the second. Parsing the database URL string that Heroku passes to the container. Is able to pass Spring data source URL stuff, but only when it's able to identify the app is running Spring Boot. which it can't when it's a Docker container. ... So instead we needed, or I keep on speaking in we terms, I needed to parse the database URL environment variable. Luckily, somebody else also experienced my misery and fixed his. And then we link to the nice gist we found, and we put that gist in the exec Java thing. C exec java.sh. Where is that? Also in root? No, in ops. Ops web app. Contents on how that parsing actually happens. All right, I think that's everything I wanted to say. And then all of this shit needs to go in some other, maybe just in the README, I guess. Deployment pipeline. Okay. What stuff did I want to keep actually? Let's put that here. So our steps are merge check out prod merge master so that's that. This will trigger a Travis CI build for the prod branch, which will then create a Docker image, push it to, well, push it to the Heroku Docker registry. Release, execute release phase via the Heroku API, aka curl. And that's it. Property passing is a thing. All Heroku and well properties are accessible as environment variables in the Docker container. Database URL. Well, maybe we can list them and then explain what they do. The supplied by Heroku, and you use the Postgres add-on. Contains weird looking URL, which isn't a JDBC URL, which only now dawns on me that it's not supposed to be JDBC because it's I mean, Heroku doesn't know what runs in the container, right? So, oh, hang on. Chris asks a question. Does Heroku still feel like a good fit now that you have to apply workarounds for the data source URL? Well, I'm only going to compare to AWS because that's sort of what I quote unquote know, and I really don't know it all that much. But it feels like deploying to Heroku is still a lot simpler than trying to deploy to AWS. But that's also probably because of my lack of knowledge about AWS. Like, I know I probably could have clicked together stuff, but I don't really know how to, first of all, how to deploy by pushing to a registry. And then second of all, how to make sure that I don't pay any money for hosting that stuff. Because right now it's really a hobby project. I know I can set limits and stuff, but then all of that stuff is just so complex eventually that I really like to use just Heroku, and it'll just shut me off if I'm running either out of space or out of processing power. It will shut down my app normally if it's not being used and stuff like that. So I guess it's fine. But yeah, good question. I actually had someone on the stream and he said, why are you using why are you not using Google App Engine? Because you can also deploy Docker containers there. With, like, I don't know anything about Google App Engine either. Like, I just want to have this thing in production or in the cloud running somewhere. I knew about Heroku. I could copy paste a bunch of stuff. But yeah, maybe it's worth trying to check out how to deploy this thing on AWS. So maybe after the Kun Laboratorium on when is it? Next week Thursday or next Thursday, I will feel confident enough. You can sponsor me a free Kubernetes cluster. That's cool. Yeah, you can also show me some links to how to deploy there, and then I'll be happy to do that. That would be great. But so that will be for not this Sunday, but then either if I have some time in the coming weeks or after next Sunday. So next Sunday I'm supposed to be live coding with a buddy of mine. I hope we can do it here as well. But yeah, so yeah, thanks for offering a free Kubernetes. Yeah, great. That would be even more awesome, Chris. Yeah. Yeah. We'll set this thing up and like in Slack or something. That's a great idea. Thanks for wanting to do that. You can advertise your company and stuff for all of the viewers on this channel. Yeah, that's really cool actually. I'd love to do that. Cool. Yay, viewer interaction, yay! And then the other Heroku properties are, I don't remember. Port. You need to have, wait, hang on. Need to have the Spring Boot app use this variable, otherwise Heroku won't be able to forward HTTP requests to it, and it'll actually crash. And that we also do. So we parse it in, where was that thing? It's over here somewhere. Here we go. There we go. Cool. Wait, which emoji is this? Okay. Thumbs up, cool. All right, and I think that's about all we need to know. So get rid of that stuff. Yeah, this is about it, huh? Sweet. Okay, let's commit this. Logged about deployment crap. And push it, and then we'll create an issue so that, wait, hang on, maybe we can tick some boxes here and then close issue, and then we'll create a new issue, deploy to Kubernetes. Chris will help me with this. Add, and then convert to issue, baby. Let's go to the issue because, wait, it's already in the correct thing. Quality attribute. There we go. Sweet. All right. I am going to close off the stream and then bike home while it's still light out. Ugh. Ow. Cool. So now everything is ready to pair on the next thing, which is going to be to manually start a competition, which will then block adding and removing participants and stuff during the competition. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for suggesting, helping me out, Chris. I really appreciate it already. So I was very lucky to have you in chat, actually. Yeah. All right. See you next Sunday, which I will be pairing with Gilliam. Hopefully, if he still remembers it, but I think he will. All right. Thanks for hanging out and see you next time. Peace.